Hey, church family. Pastor Eric here with today's Word from the Word. And as we continue to look back at what was preached last weekend, and we talk about 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and the idea that people need to be accountable for their wrongdoing. Now, we've talked about this numerous times, but it's something that's important and dear to my heart, and here's why. I have seen more abuse of this within the church than probably any other leadership quality, where people become judgmental, people become those who shun others, those who have sinned are put out and no one associates with them. You know, it's interesting because in the passage, Paul says, treat them as you would a pagan. Well, how are we called to treat pagans? We're called to love them. We're called to invite them to church. We're called to ask them to hear the word of God. Some people would say, well, you can't have them in the church because, you know, they're an unrepentant sin. Well, guess what? If there's no hope of turning back, they are not going to come to church. They're not going to respond to your invitation. But if they do, if they're willing to spend time together, if they're willing to hear the word of God, then God can use His Spirit, His Word, and His people to convict them of the need to change. And maybe they move from being rebellious people who are in sin to those who are struggling with sin. That's at least a step forward. And for us to love people doesn't mean we have to agree with them. It doesn't mean that we need to be able to look and say what you're doing is okay. There's been more than one instance in my own life, in my own relationships, where people have fallen into sin, and as many have struggled with it. As a matter of fact, I would say the vast majority struggle with it. They don't like it. They don't agree that it's right, and they need someone to walk alongside of them. But there are others who simply have given themselves so much over to that sin that they are no longer looking to change, at least not consciously, or at least not right at the moment. And I get a chance, if they'll let me, to be their friend, without telling them what they're doing is right. I've had to do that on several occasions, and unfortunately and sadly, much of the time they choose not to engage in a relationship with me. They avoid me, or they don't respond to calls. And all I'm left doing at that point in time is praying for them and doing good to them whenever we happen to meet. So it becomes a difficult place for us. But for those who are willing to struggle with their sin, I have great hope and great affection, and I want to walk with them and help them. And that should be our attitude in all those circumstances. Now, I want to switch gears for just a second, because 1 Corinthians is all about the church coming together in unity. And many of us are struggling because of the current situation. We're feeling separated. We're feeling that maybe we're not in contact as much. And I want to encourage you, if you are feeling isolated, or you're not in contact, or you would like somebody to contact you, please let us know at the church. We can't read minds. I don't think anybody can read minds except God Himself. And we don't know when people are not feeling well, or they're feeling lonely, or they need help. We don't know unless they let us know. Now, some people believe that we should be on top of it, and we should know everything right away, and meet every need without being asked, or without people needing to come to us. And that's unrealistic. It's an unfair expectation of your church. We try and stay in contact with one another, but we can't be perfect. We're not going to get everyone. So I want to encourage you, if you are not feeling enough fellowship in your life, maybe it's time to reach out. Make a phone call, send a text, put an email in at the church on the website, ask for prayer. We will respond to those things, but we can't anticipate other people's problems. We simply want to walk with you. We do the best we can, but I can assure you we will not be perfect every time. And it's not for a lack of desire, it's for a lack of ability. Unlike God, we don't know everything. We're not all powerful. We're not everywhere at every moment. But we do care at all times. And I really, as your pastor, want to ask you, please reach out. Our church staff, our elders who are called to minister to you, are here for you. We want to pray for you and with you. And if you need something physically, or you need some kind of encouragement emotionally, we're here for you, and we love you. So take care. Have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday, 9, 10:45, and 5:30 in the church sanctuary, where we will be worshiping together the Word of God. God bless. Have a great day.